Did you know I like maids? Yeah. I'm having regrets. I can barely fit in this. It's been 6 years since I wore this. Don't ask why I wore this 6 years ago. I'm not telling you. And yes, I have 2 of these. One's more frillier than that, and I can't find the thing for the headband. Maybe in another video. Maybe when this room is fully decked out, we get to have it where I get to stand up and talk. But for now, we're going to do it sitting down, because this is extremely tight. So, in this video, we're going to be talking about I am the evil... Oh my god, it's my neck. I am the evil lord of a intergalactic empire. You've watched it, I've watched it, we all love it. Why? Because it's done by the same author that worked on, and I forgot the name of it because I've got dementia, The World of Otama Games is Tough for Mobs, basically, yeah. So it's the same author. And I think one of the things that I noticed about the similarities is the mecha aspect. Like the futuristic, the mecha aspect, and also the main protagonist. They both have something in common. They're both douchebags, but deep down inside, they're actually good-natured in their actual heart themselves. And I think that's what actually makes the actual anime kind of similar but different, because of the fact that it's gone more intergalactic, still has mechas, and it actually, now that I think about it, the more and more and more that I think about the two of them, there's so many similarities. They both have AI, but in this one, you've got a hot AI maid that's like super hot. He wants to like totally do some fun stuff with. But I think what really drew me to this anime, and I'm definitely going to have some criticisms for it, because there's one thing I didn't really like about it that kind of detracted from it, and that's the guide. I just feel like the guide just kind of annoyed me, because it felt like you didn't need him there beyond the whole transportation. It was like, oh yeah, he have a second chance, and then kind of let him go from there. I get what the guide's objective was, but I just feel like everything could have probably still played out the same without the guide. But the thing that I liked the most was the actual maid and the AI aspect to it. The whole sort of stigmatization towards maids, the relationship between him and the maid, because you gotta remember, he was abandoned. His family just bought a maid, dropped it on his birthday, and went, by the way, we're leaving you with this massive amount of debt, this crumbling empire that we've created, and so have fun. Here's this basically only thing that you're going to have to interact with, which is a maid AI, and adios, senorito, we're going to go off, and then we're going to interject ourselves into your life again at the end, and try and sit there and guilt you to get rid of the maid and interact us again, and then basically give us all money. And when he didn't want to go with that, I kind of wish he was a little bit more harsh towards them. But then, when they didn't get what they want, they tried to go behind him to try and remove him. Which I really love the sort of the guy that was in that desk. He was just like kind of just laying it out. And then it's like, oh, we'll pay more taxes. And he's just like, dude, you weren't even paying your taxes when you were in command. He's paying his taxes. He's good. You're useless. Get out. But there's also that whole like stigmatization. I really feel like this anime could have done better, in my opinion, if it had 2 cores. Because I feel like the story just kind of ended abruptly. It felt like it really ended on sort of a bit of a... Like, they just felt like there should have been more meat and potato. But I really would have loved to have seen more of the the back and forth of like the maid, the AI, the stigmatization, the world, the world, like building up the empire itself. I would like seeing more of that, like the city builder aspect. Maybe that's just the boring things that I like. But I guess, in a way, what I wanted more of was more episodes. And I know that's a good thing, you know, you want more episodes, so that's why I say a second core would have really helped this, because I don't know if I would ever see a second season of this. A second season of this feels unlikely, just because, honestly, I'm still surprised the Otamu one got a second season, which is still yet to come out. Because it's one of those where it's like, it has its audience, but then, to be honest, the Otamu one did, in my opinion, far better from a sort of like an audience perspective. This didn't really get the interest that I thought it would get. Like, I saw some people talk about it, but most people I barely saw talk about it. Which is kind of sad, because like I said, I really liked the maid, I really liked the AI aspect of it, and I really wanted to see more of it. The actual thing that I now remember that I wanted to see more of was the idea of him actually upgrading the maid to have more emotions. Like, she has emotions, and it's very clear because of the whole... over CPU heating kind of thing when they're kind of having that interaction at the end where she's like, well, I have to leave you now. It's the most logical thing to do. And he's like, well, no, I'm just going to be a drunken mess and everything's going to fall apart. You have to stay with me. Clever move by him. That was what I was thinking when they were having that conversation. I was like, make it that if she leaves, well, things will decline and his health will be at danger. So she has to stay with him. But I would have liked to have seen maybe that idea of being like, oh, maybe we could give you some upgrades, maybe improve it so you can have more emotions, and then it'll kind of be that gradual build-up emotions. This works either way, but I guess I just kind of liked the idea of maybe being like, there'd been enough upgrades where it's like, maybe there was like a bridge between her being human and AI, and that kind of like, the closer gap of like, okay, but what makes you human aspect. Maybe I'm asking for a little bit too much complexity in the story itself, but I feel like they did such a good job at the romance between him and her that I was actually really impressed by how stupid and silly it is, but how well they did that one component and the relationship between him, his family, and her. The thing that I think detracted from it was the guide. I just feel like the guy was just there to kind of like, oh, well, he needs to be there to make bad things happen so that it leads to good things. And I'm like, you didn't really need that. Like, everything was kind of like happening on its own progress. Like, the pirates would have inevitably found out he was the one behind stealing all the treasure, and they would have gone after him. And I'd just be like, okay, that's the inevitability. Go for it. So I feel like the guy didn't need to be there. The harem aspect also is clearly getting built up. I kind of love the fact that you had this like night chick that's like tortured, and now she's just like kind of psychotic because of the torture that she went through. And she's like, I hate pirates. I liked that because it shows that actually torture can kind of break you a little bit. And even the girls are like knowledgeable and like, yeah, after this, she kind of went wonkos. But like I said, there's a lot of similarities between the Otamu one and this. Like, a lot. The mecha aspect is there. The AI component is there. The harem aspect is there. But also the douchebagginess is there. Like, him being a douchebag, but deep down inside being a good person. Very similar in many different aspects, but trying to do its own unique thing. But I think the Otamu one kind of hits on a couple of major things a lot better. While this one, I just really love the meta aspect with the AI. I know that sounds gushy, but I just was impressed by the fact that they really delved into that component when it's trying to be silly. Now, there are other animes that have done probably a better job at the whole relationship between a robot and a human and what makes you human and an AI and the emotions that come into the machine and all that kind of stuff. And it doesn't probably need to go any more deeper than that, as much as I could find some aspects to it. I think it really did somewhat of a still decent job. I just think as far as the second season goes, because this is based on a light novel, I don't see this getting a second season. It could, but I don't think it's high on the table. Just because inherently how the story is designed, I see this mainly as a source material seller. That's what I see in it, which is disappointing because I think it deserved that second core. But it is what it is. Again, I'd love to ask the question off to you. What did you enjoy about it? Because I do like the sort of civilization building of it. I would have liked to seen a little bit more of what decisions he was making. I mean, it's kind of always funny because he kept doing the whole, I want to be this evil overlord. I want a harem. Really funny when he's sitting there going, yeah, I want to get like heaps of hot chicks. And they're just like, yeah, every maid that works here is already the hot chicks. We already got them here working. He's like, oh, but I can't do things to them because they're employees. And they're like, no, they've all agreed that you can do whatever. And they'll be happy if you actually want to do stuff with them because it's a status upgrade. It's just like the realization clicking in his mind. It's like, actually, I've had everything handed to me on a silver platter already. I just didn't act on it. It's that irony in itself. It's like, yeah, I want a harem of hot chicks. I do like the whole engineering chick, the knight chick, the blonde-headed knight, and the AI kind of being that part of the harem in itself, but also seeing the other AIs, those AI maids, having their conversation and them acknowledging the fact that he knew the differences in what they were trying to do with their hair and stuff, and them kind of like, oh my god, I'm going to keep this like moment like saved in my memory because it's so meaningful. And they kind of, he shows that they have those emotions, those interactions. That was right away where I was like, clearly there are emotions in these machines. It's just how they go about expressing it clearly is different because, like she said at the end, you know, I'm overheating like in that core aspect. So it's like that heart beating kind of component. They're trying to bring that similarity. It's the CPU, the heart. It's a good way of doing it. So I really loved what the anime tried to do. I just wanted more because I feel like if it had another core, it would have probably gone into a couple of more things that I really wanted to see more of. So I'd love to ask the question off to you. What did you think of this anime? And as far as source material goes, I don't know how much of the source material has been covered, but like I've always said, if you're going to read the source material, read from the beginning. If there's a legal translation or a fan translation, read from the beginning. There probably maybe is enough source material, but like I said, it's just one of those where I think it is mainly a source material seller. So again, love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you like this video, hit the like, subscribe, and I'll see you beautiful nerds in the next video.